Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Fireside Chat. My name is Cezar Williams, and I am the Artistic Director of the Fire This Time Festival. And it is my honor to welcome D.L. Patrick to the show today. DL's play Gone But Not Forgotten will be featured as part of our 10-minute play festival this season in January. Welcome to the show, DL. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much.
Oh, it is really exciting for us to have you and your play in the festival this year. If you can, please take a few minutes just to tell us about your play.
Ah, but not forgotten is conversation between two sisters. And it's really based on a true story that I read about a 17-year-old Black girl who went missing in Portland, Oregon, or near Portland, Oregon in 1970. And I don't want to give too much away to the story, but the play is about her sister who advocates for her to be found. It's about the relationship that the two sisters had, that it transcends time, it transcends space, it transcends circumstances because it's so strong. And so it's about sisterhood, it's about family, it's about what happens when a Black girl goes missing and who looks for her and who doesn't.
Yeah, yeah. What I know you said it is based on a true story, but what made you write this play at this time?
It moved me because I kept looking at the photo of the girl who had gone missing in the newspaper, and the look of her just reached me somehow. And I kept thinking what it must have been like for her family, for her to suddenly be gone, and what it was like for her for it to have happened to her. So these two things, and the circumstances of how she was ultimately identified so many years later. um, all of that came together in my mind, and I just kept thinking about it. And I started to hear her voice talking to me, and I wanted to capture that and and to share with people what I imagine it must feel like to be the one missing and to be the one left behind trying to find you.
Yeah, yeah. Especially in a world that doesn't seem like it cares all that much.
Oh, absolutely. There are so many who go missing, young girls, women of color, indigenous women, Black, brown, and they don't get the kind of media attention or the kind of law enforcement attention that other people get. And so, you have to fight for attention. You have to fight for them to do what needs to be done. And it's often an uphill battle.
Or what is the message or thought you would like the audience to walk away with after having seen your play?
When a Black girl or a brown girl or an indigenous woman goes missing, that not enough attention is paid to it, that the media, unless it's something sensational or salacious or something, they don't pay much attention. I want them to know, I want them to reach out to perhaps a sister that maybe they've been estranged from, that they haven't talked to, and maybe reconnect with that person because if something should happen, they want to have said to each other the things that need to be said before it's too late. So those are the two main things I want people to get from it. I've been writing since I was mm, six or seven. Started with like limericks and little poems, and over time I started writing short stories and short plays, then screenplays. In school, I studied creative writing, so it covered a lot of different areas: playwriting, screenwriting, writing for children, all those things, because I was interested in all of those things, not just one genre. I write a lot of historical things, things set in different times and spaces, because there are a lot of stories out there that have never been told. And I come across stories all the time, and I'm like, why have I never heard of this story? You know, partly it's because certain stories are obscured, certain stories are ignored, History books don't cover things in the way, at least back in the day, the way we would cover those issues and circumstances now. So there was a lot lost. And every new story that I find, I just feel compelled to share it with others because they're all important to me. These are all people who uh, lived um, and contributed to their communities, people who did amazing things sometimes, and people who didn't have a voice but should have had a voice. And so I try to give them a voice through what I write,
Hmm, I love that.
and that's
That
important
is
to me.
that is very important. What is your earliest theater memory?
But it was
Yes,
the Negro Ensemble Company, a
yes.
Douglas Turner wordplay. When I saw it at the Fisher Theater here in Detroit, and it just blew my mind. It was so powerful and strong. And from that, I wanted to be an actor.
Mm,
And so I did some acting for a while, like in high school, a little bit in college, and started making a name for myself here in Detroit doing acting. But then I always get back to the writing because I think that's the core part of me.
hmm.
And so I'm always writing something.
Connected to that, what is your favorite theater moment as a performer or being involved in the theater as a writer, in any of those aspects?
Wow. Well, in high school, I think the first play I acted in was Miracle Worker, and I had a really small part, but I got the bug to do it from being in it, and I wanted to have a bigger part and do more. So I took acting classes and tried out for everything, worked backstage, did whatever, just to be around the theater environment because I loved it. And eventually I got better parts and um, went to Northwestern for school, didn't finish. Um, Came home and did some theater here for a while. Then I decided I was going to try New York like everybody does. And I went to New York, but the acting thing didn't work out for me. And I wound up back in school. So I went to NYU and did the creative writing degree so I could write, learn how to write everything.
Hmm.
And that stayed with me. So in the end, a writer, and I knew that really from the beginning, but I just got that acting bug for a while and had to try it.
Hmm. Are there any other productions or projects you have coming down the pipeline?
I have a play, a full length, coming up in the spring of next year. Uh, it'll be at Theater Nova in Ann Arbor, Michigan, where the university is. And it's a 5 week run. It's called Eclipsed, the Sun, the Moon, and Gladys Atkinson Suite. And
Hmm.
Gladys Atkinson Sweet was the wife of Dr. Ocean Sweet. And a lot of people know his story, what happened in 1925 in Detroit, where Dr. Sweet and his wife had moved into a home in a white neighborhood. A mob attacked their home. A man was killed during the mob incident, and the Sweets and 9 other people were put on trial for first-degree murder over this incident. So much of what's written and it's out there. There's a book called Arc for Justice, and a few other books but it's from the point of view of the doctor, Dr. Ocean Sweet, and from Clarence Darrow, who was the litigator of their trial. Um, they were acquitted of the crimes eventually. It took 2 trials, but acquitted. But my play is about his wife, Gladys, and her point of view, and how the women in his life dealt with what they went through, the trial, the losses, the everything behind the scenes. So we get their point of view, which is something you don't um, see in much of what is out there on the subject. And uh, the wife, Gladys, lost so much in the process. Um, she wound up having, they arrested her, and she was in jail with the others, the only woman of the 11. She was arrested along with everyone else, and while she was in jail, got sick. When she went home, she wasn't aware that she had TB. She had a little daughter who caught it from her. Both the little girl and her mom, the wife, would die of tuberculosis
Mm.
from having been in jail and had that experience. So um, there's so much trauma from the whole experience and what the women went through. Um, Bashan's mother, Gladys's mother, um, friends and other family members, how they tried to support this woman and what she was going through during this period of their lives, and losing her in the end is what the story is about. And so this is being produced in Ann Arbor at Theater Nova, April 11th through May 11th. I'm working on some other projects that I hope will be out there soon as well. So I'll let you know what's
Good,
coming up.
good, good. Let us know. And New Play Exchange is a great resource for people to find writers and good plays. So that's wonderful. Is there currently a quote or a mantra that is helping to guide you, especially maybe when times are low or challenging for you as a person or as an artist?
All I do is, try to focus on what it is that I really want to do and accomplish and just plow through.
Yeah,
I have my process, which is I get up every morning, 4 o'clock, and I sit down on my computer and I write no matter what. And if I can do that every day, then, I can get through difficulty I may be having with the writing. Personally, in my life, I I just reach out to family. I have four sisters, so we have our own little sisterhood going there. My daughter Jessica, nieces, um, the whole family. I'm very family oriented, and I very much rely on them. They come out to see all my shows and stuff, which is really fabulous because not everybody gets that. I mean, sometimes they get a little bored or a little tired of you. Oh, you got this, you got that, you got this, all these things. I can't see everything. Well, that's okay. Just come when you can. But they come out quite a lot and support, and it's really great. I feel very well supported, and so I don't worry about anything. I just try to plow through and keep going.
that's wonderful. Well, on that note, I want to invite everyone out there to come out and check out DL's play, Gone But Not Forgotten. It's part of the Finest Time Festival this January. It'll be featuring our 10-minute play program. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and thank you, DL, for joining us on the Fireside Chat. Have a great
It's
day.
been a pleasure. Thank you so much.